Humans Don't Make Good Familiars, Book 3, Chapter 14, Jake's Point of View. The blue-coloured grass around me waved in the wind. I was sitting in a field somewhere between the army base that we'd been stationed at and Suma's home city of Ágoston. We'd been travelling for hours and needed to rest. Suma was eating a sponge cake Mum had sent for me in my bag. A few days ago, we left the base for a while, with my hand losing Odin's and, well, everything else. Neither one of us has taken the rest in a while. Actually, come to think of it, I think the last time that we were alone with nothing to do was before we joined the army 1.5 years ago.
The only thing that could make this better is if I had a piece of raisin bread too,
Suma said, eating the last of a sponge cake. Want some water? I asked, offering the opened bottle to her.
Yes, please,
she said, and I poured some of the water into a screw-on cap for her. I felt bad about doing it this way at first, like I was watering a pet, but her beak is just too big to fit into the bottle, and the last time I tilted it to her mouth, she nearly drowned. How much further? I wondered, putting our things away. Doing it with one hand was hard, but Suma taught me a few tricks on how to use mana molding to do simple stuff like this, at least until I can get my hand back. As bad as losing my hand had been, using magic to move stuff around without touching it did make me feel like a Jedi sometimes.
Another 4 hours. How is your mana holding up?
She asked, standing up from my lap, then flying over and landing on the hobble bike. It's fine, I said, filling up 4 more dal jars for the rest of the flight, and sending my bag away. Suma had been saving her strength and stamina by riding on the bike with me. However, since there was no real perch for her to hold on to while this was in motion, she'd mostly be either on my shoulder or in my shirt.
Travelling without needing to fly is quite nice, but I do wish that it was a bit faster,
she said, landing on my shoulder as I climbed onto the bike and inserted the dal jar. For a moment, before the noise-cancelling runes could turn on, a high-pitched whir cried out as the wind's runes turned on, and then was suddenly silenced. I guess I could create a tailwind, but you or I might fall off if it gets too turbulent.
Yes, I know. Best not to risk it.
With that, we were back in the sky again, cruising along before her hometown. We were about 50 meters above the ground and moving 100 kilometers per hour. Below us were windswept hills, some barren, some rocky, and others covered in blue grass and pines. In the distance was a forest, and beyond that were the wastelands. Are you excited to be going home again? We haven't been back since before joining the Drakes, I asked. There was no need to shout, since most of the wind and noise were being suppressed by runes.
It would be good to see my friends again. It has been too long.
What about your family?
They will also be there, yes.
You still haven't made amends with them? I asked.
Nor have they attempted to make amends with me,
she said, sounding sour at the thought of her parents. You should be the bigger man, bird, Niema, and try first.
I already know what they will say. They will say they were right about me joining the army and about you being too dangerous and...
she complained. Do you think they're right? I asked, not even thinking about why I was asking it.
What? No, of course not. At least, not about you.
I know, but Suma, listen. I've been thinking, and I think we should get out, I said, swallowing a nervous lump in my throat.
Out? Of the army?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Okay.
What?
I agree. We have been in the army for a rather long time, and it has cost you so much. I can understand why you want to leave, and I have thought about the Queen's offer more than once, and whether or not it was right to turn it down.
Me too, I said. Honestly, I was worried you might disagree and want to stay in. With what you told me about why you joined, I assumed that you might want to stay.
I do not regret joining, but I do regret dragging you into it with me.
You didn't drag me anywhere. I followed you here.
And if you had not, if I had simply asked you to stay, then you would still have your limb.
I'll get that back. We'll figure it out, I said.
But Jake, what about the dragon? I thought our plan was to train in the army to defeat him.
Suma asked. It still is. I can't go home with him still around. But I don't think I need an army to get stronger.
Then how?
I don't know, really. I guess we'll have to figure that out, too.
Is this why you asked for leave away from the base?
She wondered. Yes and no. It was part of it, but I really did just need some time off to look into my hand, I said.
Have you found anything about that in Zachariah's memories?
No, as far as I can tell, Zachariah didn't know anything about the spell Danger used in my body. I thought that I'd seen one before, but I was wrong. It wasn't Zachariah's memories. It was Danger's.
So the only one who knew how to do it was the Chaos Dragon himself.
I think so, which means if I want to learn how to get my hand back, I have to look through his memories too, I said, feeling sick to my stomach at the mere thought of it. Atharia, 050 Dragzoon W.R.E, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.